to the front. What's up, world?
What up, y'all?
Big E is definitely in the building.
Yeah.
Big H is definitely in the building. We got Dante Little Rothstein is definitely in the building. And I'm Soup. And welcome to Superstars of Sports. But before we start the show, we need y'all to do 3 things for us. We need a like, we need a subscribe, and we need a comment.
All 3. It ain't hard.
Costs nothing to be a supporter.
Nothing at all.
And with that being said,
Let's go, baby.
let's start the show.
All right.
All right, now. I think I want to start off with H.
Oh.
Because this is another attack on the light-skinned community.
Dang it.
Big shout out to Jan Anderson. He's sending a fan question. He's located over in Oakland, New Jersey.
What up?
And the question of the week is, why does Tobias Harris, with a $180 million contract, get a pass?
Damn.
All right, so first off,
You get a pass, H?
I do feel attacked with the light-skinned community stuff because it's Ben and it's Tobias.
I'm neutral.
And it's just driving us crazy.
We neutral on this side. We accept everybody.
But I'm going to say this. I'm not saying that Tobias so much has gotten a pass because I understand that we really had no choice but to sign him.
Okay.
But what I do think when Jan asked that question is that us as a fan base have overlooked him or took the blame from him because we've been focused on Ben Simmons so much. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe had he been balling in the playoffs, or at least did what he's supposed to do,
Okay.
maybe Ben Simmons wouldn't be acting like he act, but maybe we wouldn't be where we at right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So again, I don't think he's getting a pass, but I think he has gotten a pass with the scrutiny from us because we've been so tied in and focused on Ben Simmons that we forgot to go back and say, you bum, you didn't show up 3 games against Atlanta, and in the last game you came up with 18 points, but it was the quietest 18 points I've ever heard.
For sure.
So, not only did Ben miss that open layup, you didn't take no
You even
shots.
take it a step further to say he came up weak in the playoffs the year before as well.
He came up weak in the playoffs consistently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
But he's not getting a pass. Who expects anything from Tobias Harris?
Well, I did.
Why?
Because of what he was doing in LA.
When you take his
You're still getting that same Tobias Harris.
20 points.
That is exactly why Tobias Harris has been traded 6 times. That's why nobody wants to invest big money in Tobias Harris.
Except the $180 million that we gave.
There's only 3 people in the world that thought he was worth $180 million. Tobias himself, Tobias's dad, who's his agent, and Elton Brand. Those are the only 3 people in the world that thought he was worth $180 million. And why did Elton Brand give him $180 million? Because he made 2 major trades that year in mid-season, trying to make this into a title contender. He gave up a bunch of assets, Dario Saric, Covington, some other picks to get Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And then at the trade deadline, he gives up Landry Shamet, couple first-round picks to get Tobias Harris. We all know how the season ended. Toronto,
Lucky shot.
Kawhi.
Yeah.
Kawhi, we know how it ended.
Big shot.
Priority number 1 was who? Jimmy Butler. We all know how that ended, right? He said, Brett Brown's not going to control me. The front office not going to tell me what kind of person I can be.
You think it was all that, or you think the baby was in the corner in the background saying I can't play with
The baby had something to do with it.
I think the baby had a lot to do with it.
I don't think the baby had a lot to do with it in Jimmy Butler's mind. I don't think Jimmy Butler gave a shit about what Ben Simmons felt.
Jimmy
what he cared about was not the organization trying to, in his words, control him, right?
Okay.
So you know you're losing Jimmy. You already gave up all those assets. You're Elton Brand, first-time GM. Most of us in this room feel like he probably even shouldn't be a GM, right? He came in after Colangelo. I like him, but he's not ready. He was the GM of the Blue Coats.
As a person or as a GM?
He came in as the GM of the Blue Coats. On the tails of, he was a safe pick. Because remember, before him, the GM was Colangelo. The burners, the tweets, you know what I'm saying? So you bring in Elton Brand, you let Brett Brown be part GM with him, right? And he was a safe pick. So his first big move was to get Jimmy Butler. The city loved him. Right? Hold on, he used all of Hinkie's assets.
He seemed aggressive. Yeah.
And then he goes and gets Tobias. So at the end of the year, you lose Jimmy. You can't lose Tobias. Doc Rivers had him in LA, and the reason why they traded him was what? He was a free agent in the year, and they weren't going to give him all that money.
Yeah.
So there was only 3 people in the world that thought he was worth $180 million, and it was Elton Brand. So overlooked? I wouldn't say he's overlooked. Does he come out small? Yes, but that is the reason why Tobias has bounced from team to team. Because he's good, but there's no next level. This is the peak of Tobias Harris games, and when it gets to the playoffs, his lack of finishability around the rim, he's paper salt.
So
he's a 19-point scorer that has the ability to be a 26-point scorer if he can finish in the rim, and it's even more shown during the playoffs when every point is crucial, especially when you have Ben who doesn't want to shoot. Hence his 4 shots in the game 7 in the fourth quarter of all 7 games.
So is he not our second best option in scoring?
And right now, yes.
Was he not our second best option last year at scoring
in the playoffs?
During the season,
period. The regular season, yes.
Period.
Yes, regular season, yes.
He's our, when you look at that team, he's our second best scoring option, right?
Debatable, depending on.
Because right now he should be
Seth Curry,
he should be robbing me right now.
The pick and rolls with Embiid that Seth Curry running come to playoffs with the most deadly, lethal combination.
No, I understand. When I look at that roster, to me, Tobias Harris is the second best scoring option.
Yes, absolutely.
Because Ben doesn't want to shoot.
But you brought up the question. The question from the fan was, is he being overlooked?
No, let me get to that. That's what I'm trying to get to. So, the fact that he's our second best scoring option, and he wasn't scoring, I think he is getting overlooked because we still focus and we still talking about Ben Simmons. Don't get me wrong, Ben Simmons deserves a whole soliloquy about him. But Tobias Harris is still getting a pass, bro, to a certain degree because we haven't, me and you haven't, although it hasn't been long enough yet, we haven't killed him yet. We killed Ben Simmons. Like, you know what I mean? We even question Embiid.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But we not killing Tobias. And
you know why?
He's kind of getting a pass.
Because Tobias, we used the car metaphor last week, right?
Yeah, Ferrari.
Tobias is the Honda that acts like a Honda. You get in the car, in the winter he's gonna start up.
But like you said, somebody paid a grip for that.
But if we gonna say that, you paid Lamborghini money for this Honda.
That's the problem. That's not Tobias' problem. That's an brand problem. Because this is what happened in the playoffs. Tobias still gave you his 18. It was a weak 18 because we needed 25 because somebody else
didn't score.
But
we know that.
Oh, but
we know that's going to be that.
So that's why Tobias is 3rd or 4th on the pecking order of issues. Ben's 1, Embiid's help 2, Doc Rivers coaching 3, and then it's like, come on, Tobias, we need more.
Can I ask you this then?
Absolutely.
If Tobias averages 25 during the playoffs last year, and we still lose to the Hawks. Are we talking about Ben Simmons?
Absolutely. Because Ben Simmons is the second best player on this team.
Ben Simmons still.
Ben Simmons has the ability to be a top 10 player in the league.
Had Tobias did that and we won, are we talking about Ben Simmons?
Yes.
Yeah, we still talking about it.
Because the thing in Philly is not about us losing to the Hawks, right?
No, it was blowing that 20-point league game.
You know what I'm saying? But what brought it amongst them is we have a player who has a top 10 talent that plays like a top 30 player. Tobias Harris is a top 50 player, maybe top 40, right? He was borderline All-Star last year. Julius Randle took his spot on All-Star, which was deserved. So if
hindsight being 2020 deserved.
Right. So if you're mapping out the All-Stars, so what are they? 12, there's 15 players on each team, so that's 30, right?
Yeah.
So Tobias Harris is what, 35 in the league? He's playing like a 35th ranked player in the league. But
getting paid like a
top 10, that's the problem, and that's an Elton Brand. So the problem is not with why Tobias Harris doing that. The problem is why is Elton Brand giving him 180? Because nobody else in the league was going to give him 180.
No, I get that.
So he's not overlooked.
I get that. We know Elton Brand messed up, gave out $180 million.
Okay.
To a certain degree, Elton Brand had no choice because if we didn't sign Tobias, I don't know about the other options we would have had, and I don't want to hear about Buddy Hield. Right. I don't want to hear about
you could have re-signed Tobias. I don't think you got to give him 180.
Yeah, maybe you give him 120.
I don't know. Tobias obviously felt high of himself and thought I deserve.
Who's courting him?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you bet against yourself.
Yeah, who's courting him?
No, I get that, but still, with all that being said, we gave the bread up. I still feel like we're overlooking Tobias a little bit because I know me, and when I talk to a bunch of dudes, all we talk about, Embiid could have did this second half, he didn't do nothing, and of course Ben this and that. It's a rare thing I hear somebody say, "Hey, Tobias ain't balled the whole playoffs." Like, you know what I'm saying?
He did ball. He did what Tobias Harris does. He didn't elevate his level.
Game 2 and game 3, I think one game he had a total of 12 points, another game he had 8. That's not what Tobias does. Tobias averages 20.
Okay.
So 12 and 8 is not Tobias. But listen to what I'm saying. Those 2 games, if he would have averaged what he's supposed to, we might have won. We wouldn't be in game 7 against Atlanta.
You want to know about averages?
I'm just talking about that.
Okay.
That specific.
But that's what I'm saying. We're talking about averages.
If he would just got that dub.
Okay.
That dub, he averaged.
Ben averages 17.
Forget
he was
that.
scoring 5. Where's his 12 at?
No, I get that.
No,
but we're talking about Tobias. I already understand what Ben averages and what Ben didn't do.
Correct.
We got him in the box and hold up a joint.
Yeah.
But Tobias, if he could have just did what he did, there might not have been a game 7. If there's no game 7, there's no passed up dunk. There's no, you know what I mean? So
it's a pecking order.
I understand that, but I still feel as though Tobias got a pass. Because ain't nobody, sports radio, national NBA, ain't nobody say nothing about this boy. Obviously, Ben takes everything with him when he said what he said at the end of the season. But locally, even when I'm reading local stuff, man, nobody's saying
because no one expects nothing from Tobias because we knew it was a bad contract. We know what kind of player he is. He's not a player that's going to elevate your team to the next level. Ben Simmons is a player that elevates your team to the next level. Joel Embiid is a player that elevates your team to the next level. Doc Rivers is supposed to be a coach that elevates your team to the next level.
Ben Simmons elevates your team.
He's supposed to be. He has the talent to elevate you to the next level.
So
that's why he's top on it. Embiid's health is always going to lead the charge in the conversation because his talent leads you to the next level. Right? By the time you get to Tobias, it's like, yo, this dude ain't worth no 180. He's killing us. Maybe we can trade him instead of Ben to get some assets.
But you ain't gonna get nothing good.
But you ain't gonna get nothing. You ain't gonna get nothing good for him because no one paying 180 for him. So it's not an overlooking Tobias. It's a I know that's what he was. He's not worth it. But I get mad at Elton Brand.
To a certain degree, though, you ain't gonna get nothing for Ben either.
But that's another conversation.
I'm just it.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. We're not going to get nothing with Ben, which leads me to my next point. Let's rehearse or rehash back to last week, right? You sat there and said that you was all in on Morey's statement that he could sit on the side for 4 years, or you was even okay with not trading him until we get somebody on his level. Is that correct?
I said that I'm not going to let him go for nothing. I'm not letting him go for McCollum.
Correct.
All I've been hearing is McCollum.
Right.
I don't want McCollum. I don't care about Buddy Hield.
Okay.
And I also said that Daryl Morey was talking to Clutch. He's not keeping him for 4 years.
Right.
I do stand still and think that he could keep him off on the bench for a year.
Okay.
Especially with the fact that this boy is just sitting here now, you know, with the mental thing he got going on.
Yeah.
You don't know what he's going to decide that he said he wants to play. He might stretch this all year. So therefore, we had no choice but to keep him on the bench all year.
Okay.
I just don't want to settle. Just don't give me no story about McCollum.
And this is why I say we had to trade him for whatever we can get. Right now, at the time that we're taping this podcast, we are 2-2.
Yeah.
We have beaten the New Orleans Pelicans and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Mm-hmm. 2
bottom-feeding teams.
Mm-hmm.
We have lost to the Knicks and we have lost to the Nets. 2 teams that you should be battling with
for
in the East.
Conference Finals.
For the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Respectable.
We played good for long spurts of both games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Brooklyn, we lost in the fourth quarter. 15-1 run, 17-3 run, something like that in the fourth quarter. Last 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
And was in that Jones.
And we went in the Knicks from the end of the second to the third. They went on like a 27-5 run to kind of put the game out of proportion.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we don't have a point guard to run this team.
Yeah, Max is not ready.
Max is not ready, but just the overall talent. You have Furkan playing at a position above his level. Maxi's not a starting point guard, but you have a max slot player sitting on the sideline doing nothing.
Because he's hurt mentally.
Right.
So
which is why you got to get rid of him for whoever you can get.
So right now you want to get rid of him and you want Buddy Hield, and that's going to do what for us?
Help with the scoring. I don't even want Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's going to point guard. I'll take Buddy Hield.
I'm just saying.
I want give me Malcolm Brogdon, give me Colin Sexton, give me De'Aaron Fox, give him C.J. McCollum.
So you don't want to win a championship. We won't even got the first round.
We're not even making the playoffs with Ben sitting on the side with the roster built like this.
Sitting on the sideline.
And that's what he's going to do until you get rid of him.
But not for Brogdon.
But look what happened. We're playing against teams that we're going to be battling for the division.
Bradley Beal. Go get Bill.
But
not Brogdon. Don't get me Brogdon.
So I'm sticking with you that those are the only players that have enough talent to match the trade, right? Is Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard. They're the only 2 players that are somewhat available, that we think are available, that could match the talent of Ben. What I'm telling you is you need some type of structure on this roster, because if you let Ben sit on the sideline and you only hold him for talent that's good enough as him, we're not even making the playoffs. So him sitting on the side because he doesn't want to play nursing the back and the mental health, or you making him play whatever, the team is not good. against the better teams. And the biggest problem is we don't have a point guard to lead it. Maxey's not ready. Shake is not a point guard. I don't care that Furkan played point in Turkey. They don't have any other players. You need a real point guard on this team.
Yeah, they got to make a move.
They have to make a move.
Yeah, I still think right now it's too early. I mean, I understand we got 4 or 5 games in the season. Right now, I'm not letting it go right now.
You have to.
Not right now.
We run the risk of being in last place.
You run the risk of being too far
I understand
behind.
what you're saying, but
you run the risk is not the whole East where you can play rain games.
You need a real point guard on this
not
team.
right now. I'm not taking. Listen,
because right now, if you're watching the game,
we're gonna always
and
agree.
B's bring the ball up. And he's bringing the ball up too much. He's trying to do too much with his bum ass knee. Right? You got Maxey, who is a great player coming off the bench. He looks a lot better on the second team with Furkan off the ball than him running the ball. Shake Milton, we know Shake, he'll drop 31 night, and you won't see him for 2 more weeks. We need a legitimate NBA point guard. And 30, you talk about Tobias Harris being overrated. You got $35 million sitting on the sideline that needs to be used in this team.
I'm still not. And then on top of all that, who's taking him right now with the stuff that he got going on? Ain't nobody looking at him. Nobody want, because you don't know.
You don't think his back problem going to clear right up if we treat him so well?
I'm not talking about the back. I'm talking about the fact that he played with the mental.
Okay.
So don't tell me. Listen,
come on, we know.
Listen, I'm with you. It's convenient, but you're playing yourself. If all of a sudden they trade you and you pop up and say, "Hey, my mental is good now."
No, what Clutch was going to say? Hey, Clutch, we're trading him to Minnesota for D'Angelo Russell and some scrap or whatever. His mental health coach is coming with him.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
The mental health coach is coming with him.
He needs to.
Clutch is going to hire their own mental health.
I think he needs to help himself out a little bit and get out of that funk and get back out there for a second.
One of the two has to happen. He either has to play so we can trade him, or just trade him now, because the way the team is right now, the way the team is built right now, we are not competing with Miami.
I agree.
I agree
with all that. I'm just not letting him go.
So then we gotta go.
I get you, but I'm not. I'm just me. I'm not letting him go for a bag of chips. It's at the end of the day, it's my team, so we passionate. So yes, let him go. But there's a business behind that, which is we understand.
The $35 million is on the side. That's the business.
But there's also a logical side to not letting it go right now. There's a logical side to hold on. Let me hold my chips. I ain't gotta put all in right now. You ain't gotta flip the card right now.
How many games you want to fall behind?
That's a difference. I don't know.
That's the question you got to answer right now.
Right. I don't know if you let that go 10 games before you get too deep. Okay. So maybe you go 10 games, and if you're 2-8, you can put. But if you go 10 games and you're 6-4, okay, let's keep waiting. Let's do another 10.
6-4. We're only 2-2 now. Who we beating now?
I'm just saying we got 10.
We got the Hawks on Saturday night. We beating them with Maxey starting.
I'm not sure, but let's just. I want them to win, but I'm just being real. Okay. Let's look at it in a team.
You know they're not winning,
but they could pull that off. They could pull that game off. Let's just look at it in a 10-game increment. Everybody's 4 games, we lost 2. Get something now. God damn, the ball just went down with the mental joint. Been 2 games, 4 games. Let's go at 10. If we 2-8. Let's press. Now we can start talking about who we can get.
But the team has been practicing for over a month now. The general manager of the front office has known.
No, this is what we're going to do. We're going to close this out now, and we're going to revisit this 10 games.
10 games. That's all I say.
10 games.
Let's just look at it. If we over,
make sure everybody keep watching.
Wait a minute. If we over 500, we'll reevaluate in another 10. If we under, then I can have that talk with you and start saying, "Oh gosh, Brogdon," or "Oh gosh, McCollum." Yeah. These 2 people that I can care less about. Like I really feel like.
What did they do to you?
Hey, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe.
Please.
We need your support. We're trying to do something here. If y'all like it, if you're enjoying it, like, comment, subscribe. It costs nothing to be a supporter. Love y'all.
Peace.